Hey, what's up? This is J Bat, and today I will be doing a review for Batman Judge Dredd, The Ultimate Riddle. And this was a crossover comic tale which featured the superheroes Batman and Judge Dredd. And the villain of this comic was supposedly the Riddler, but there are some spoiler alerts in it. I won't spoil it for people who haven't read it. But yeah, this was like a crossover tale featuring Batman, Judge Dredd, and the Riddler. And this is J Bat, and this will be my review. Hey, what's up? This is J Bat, and today I will be doing a review for Batman and Judge Dredd, The Ultimate Riddle. So it's called Batman and Judge Dredd, The Ultimate Riddle. Now this is like another crossover tale between like Batman and this time Judge Dredd. And the Riddler is like the villain of the story or whatever. So I'm going to touch on all that. So this will be my review for Batman and Judge Dredd, The Ultimate Riddle. And this was released in 1995. Okay. Now the writers for this tale were Alan Grant and John Wagner. And then you had the artist, which was Carl Critchlow, and Dermonte Power, and the letter was Richard Starkins, and also done by Comic Craft. Now the artwork for this was kind of cool. It wasn't like the best artwork I ever seen for like a comic tale. It's like on the level of like the Killing Joke or the Long Halloween, like other Batman, like graphic novels like that. It wasn't good like that, but it had like some cool like art in it. And it had like a heavy metal type style of art. Like the heavy metal magazines that had like the comics. What I'm saying, and or whatever. 'Cause I used to be a fan of those. They had like an artwork style kind of similar to those. You would think you read like a heavy metal like comic book, but it's Batman study. Like their own like tales and stories. Well, the comic, it opens with like Batman. You don't really know what city he's in. I believe he's like in Gotham City, but it's a reason why they don't really stress that, that much in the opening of the story or whatever. But Batman, he's like swinging around like the city or whatever, and he's like chasing like riddles. He's like following like riddles that the Riddler left behind. So he finds like this one last riddle, and then he goes where the riddle tells him to go or whatever, where he figures out where he believes it is. So he goes to like this bridge, then he actually finds the Riddler. You know what I'm saying? Then the Riddler like causes like some kind of explosion, and boom, like Batman still captures him, and they have like a little fight somewhat. Then boom, all of a sudden they are like locked inside like these like jail cells, like these like jail cells. And then Batman sees like Judge Dredd, like he's in like a jail cell too, locked in with like some kind of like creature thing, I think, or whatever. And I'm not that familiar with the judge. I know Judge Dredd, but I'm not really that familiar with him. And plus, this was released at the time that Batman Forever and like Judge Dredd were both in theaters back in 1995. I think around that summertime. I know both of them had movies in the theaters. 'Cause I went and saw both of them. I saw Batman Forever and Judge Dredd at the theater. So that's when I first knew of Judge Dredd, because of the film which stars Sylvester Stallone as. But somehow Batman and the Riddler, they end up in the jail cell, and they see Judge Dredd also in the jail cell. But then like the comic opens up and you see like it's a whole bunch of like jail cells, like jail prison things, and they each all have their own like creatures and like different kind of species of people, whatever, locked inside these cages, which is kind of odd. So apparently there's some kind of way they ended up in another dimension supposedly, but it's a spoiler alert. I'm not going to spoil it, but like in the end it is revealed, something about how they got in this other dimension. But there's like this villain known as the Emperor, I guess Zero, but it has like an X. His name is spelled with an Xero, so I think it's Zero or something like that. He supposedly made a bargain with the Riddler to lure Batman to him, and the Riddler did. The Riddler succeeded in luring Batman to him, you know what I'm saying? So then Zero, he actually gets upset with the Riddler and actually kills the Riddler, supposedly kills the Riddler, you know what I'm saying? But I'll touch on that, I didn't want to ruin it, you know what I'm saying? Because the Riddler was asking for like his pay for like bringing Batman to him, then he supposedly like just blasted him with some kind of like device or whatever that ain't from our world, Then, you know what I'm saying, it supposedly kills the Riddler at the beginning in Batman's jail cell. So after Zero kills the Riddler, or Zachary, I guess I'm still having trouble saying his name, 'cause I know it started with an X. After he kills the Riddler, he tells Batman that each year, he tells Batman and Judge Dredd both that each year he celebrates by bringing together warriors from different worlds to do battle for his pleasure. So he basically brings together like different warriors, or even like heroes, I guess you could say, from like different like worlds, and to do battle right in front of him. So today he decided to do like a contest that he would call the Hunt, and he has like 8 hunters. I think it's 8 hunters. Yeah, he chooses 7 warriors, and they all have to at least kill Batman, and Batman will be the chorus. So Batman is basically the prey. So even Judge Dredd is involved in this, but he chooses not to kill Batman, you know. So the hunt begins. So whoever doesn't kill Batman, like the winner who kills Batman, they go free. But whoever doesn't kill Batman, they all have to die. So you know, of course, only one person can kill him of the 7 hunters, which includes Judge Dredd too. And Batman is the quarry to prey. But like I said before, like the Judge Dredd, he won't agree on killing Batman. So once they are released from their cells, they actually team together to take out the Emperor Zero, Zek Zero, I know it's spelled with an X, but I believe it's Zero, you know what I'm saying? They actually agreed to take him out, you know what I'm saying? So that's what the story is, kind of spoiled anymore, but you know, but I thought it was okay, but the artwork in it was cool because it has like a heavy metal type, you know, the magazine Heavy Metal, you know, which had like comic stories, and I used to be a fan of those. I used to always read those too, you know, because they even had a movie called Heavy Metal, you know, it was like animated and stuff. But the artwork is very similar to that style, you know. But it features like Batman and Judge Dredd together, and the Riddler is actually one of the main villains in the centerpiece too, you know. Then you have like that Emperor Zero or whatever. Now see, he could be a Judge Dredd enemy too. I don't really know, because I'm not really that familiar with the Judge Dredd, you know, character or whatever. But like the creatures in it, you know what I'm saying, it has like various creatures in it, and the enemies in it, and they speak their own like languages and stuff. So that also kind of made it kind of, you know, odd and kind of, you know, not really there, you know. But like I thought the artwork for it was, you know, it has some cool like images, you know, in here. I noticed the characters were drawn very like muscular looking too, as you can see. Like there's a shot of like Batman in it, you know. How he looks right there. He looks like very like, you know, they drew him real good, you know, detailed. Even Judge Dredd, you know, the kind of cool, as you can see. The artwork was done for him pretty well, as you can see right there. So yeah, this is my review for Batman, Judge Dredd, The Ultimate Riddle, and this was released in '95, you know. And I thought this was okay. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to check it out or whatever, I would recommend it. It's kind of decent, you know. Probably only for like Batman fans or like Judge Dredd fans, you know, them probably the ones who should give it a shot, you know. Okay, so this is J-Bat, and this is my review for Batman, Judge Dredd, The Ultimate Riddle. Alright. Hey, what's up? As you can see, this is Batman, Judge Dredd, The Ultimate Riddle comic. You can actually consider it a graphic novel because it was like a one-shot, you know. And this was created in 1995. I remember getting this during that time. I think it was during the summertime of 1995 when Batman Forever and Judge Dredd film was out, you know, with Sylvester Stallone playing Judge Dredd. I think that's when I had picked this up at the time, you know. So as you can see, like, the artwork in it was very similar to like Heavy Metal, like, magazines, you know, like the Heavy Metal magazines. It was very similar to that, because you know they have that like dark, gothic look to them. You know, the characters are very like muscular looking and stuff. You know, so I thought the images were kind of cool. You know, they looked kind of cool. Not the best artwork I ever seen for like comic books, but I thought they did like a good job on them. You know, I thought those I would recommend reading just to see like, you know, the unique art style that it had. You know. The book wasn't really that long either. It's kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of on the short side. I could read it in like 30 minutes, you know. And I thought it was okay, you know. I guess, you know what I'm saying, if you're a Batman fan, I wouldn't really, you know, I guess you could check it out if you're interested, you know. As you can see, like the characters, a lot of them were like muscular and stuff. Cool. Now the artwork for this was done by Carl Grichlau and Dermot Power, and the lettering was done by Richard Starkings and Comic Craft. Now the writers were Alan Grant and John Wagner, and Dennis O'Neil also returned as the editor. Okay, so this is Batman, Judge Dredd, the Ultimate Riddle, and this is J Bat. All right. In the end, Batman, Judge Dredd, the Ultimate Riddle, it was okay. I thought it was all right. I thought the artwork was kind of, it wasn't the best I've seen, and like some of the other comics, but I thought it was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? It had like a heavy metal type, artwork style to it. I thought the storyline was kind of, it was okay. I didn't really like the storyline that much, but the look of it was kind of cool. So this is J Bat, and this is my review for Batman Judge Dredd, the Ultimate Riddle. All right.